Yo, what's up, guys? It's the 8-bit Blackstock, back playing another spoopy game, I think. It's been a second since I've made a video. My mic's a little... Alright, anyway. It's been a second. Oh, maybe it wasn't. Oh my god. I'm so sorry, you guys. It's been a while since I made a video, but, I've just been going through some life stuff in kind of a rut, but I'm working on it. But anyway, I had a fella... send me an email saying that I might like this game because he had seen that I had played some text-based games. So he sent me a Steam code for free. So I was like, oh my god, as if. So I had to play it. So this one's called The Remainder, and I'm pretty sure Act 1 is available now. So click anywhere on the screen to progress the story. Choices you make along the way will determine your fate. If you miss something, you can read it again in the history. Once you discover a letter or journal entry, you can find it in the gallery. Ooh. Hover over the diamond to reveal a menu. The story will include descriptions of violence, death, and suicide, as well as mention of mind-altering substances and activities. It's recommended for mature audience. Mature audience, everybody! Mature audience! I burnt myself. It's itchy. Oh, is it waiting for me to click? Oh, it was waiting. It was waiting for me to click. Okay, Act 1. Waves crash in the distance. Okay. Cicadas chirp. A breeze caresses our hair. The sun warms our skin. All is well. We're sitting on a rug laid on the grass, hands linked together. Our singing voices float up in unison. This is nice artwork. I like it. My chest vibrates. I can feel the air in our bodies move as one. The space between us hums with power. I close my eyes and smile, savoring the feeling. My dream is coming true. Just a little longer. Ugh, a little longer till what? Their singing falters and I peer at them curiously, trying to hide my annoyance. Why did you stop? What's this? Oh, okay, that's your menu. Okay. They squeeze my hand with a smile and shake their head. Their skin is cold and clammy. Huh? What has gotten into you, I ask. They gesture at the sky with an outstretched hand. I look up. The sun has ducked behind a cloud. Drops of wetness fall, softly patting the ground. You don't see it yet, do you? I frown, still peering up. What do you mean? When I lower my gaze, they're not there. Oh, pressing my lips together, I stand up and search around me. Where did you go? It's pouring now. The cicadas are silent. Wind rips at my clothes. I look at my hands. Thick, warm, and red. Ugh, that doesn't sound good. Alright. Well, I hope it's ketchup. Just warm ketchup that we left out because we were having a nice barbecue picnic. A sweet scent fills my nostrils. I venture a lick. Metallic, greasy. What in Lura's name is happening? Darkness falls soon. Oh, okay. Darkness falls soon. I can barely make out the silhouette of my hands. A sense of urgency grips me. I run to the tower and throw open the door, shouting, "Where are you?" Empty halls stretch before me, echoing my question. So I have no clue if this is going to be scary or whatever. I don't know. It was just... The guy emailed me, said I'd probably like it, so I figured mine is, you know, since he was so nice to send me the key and everything for free, I should definitely make a video. And this is trippy so far. In the far end, a figure is walking into the dark. Hey, wait, shouting, I run after them, feet pounding upon the sticky, wet stones. Ugh, sticky. Echoing loudly, squelch, squelch, squelch. I said, wait! Respect my authority! What was their name again? Oh, why can't I remember? Why are you surprised? What? My, look at you, the voice chuckles, falling short where it counts again. Eh? I ignore it and keep running. Sync the name, I'll know them when I find them. Indeed, okay. Anyway. I grab the slippery doorknob and barge into the room. Nothing. Another door. Nothing. I run my hands over my hair, fingers digging into my scalp. What the? I recoil when I realize the sticky stuff is smeared all over. I wipe it on my clothes, but it won't come off. Sink this. Is that supposed to mean, like, screw this or whatever? Sink this. I curse, clench my teeth, and storm through yet another door. Look at the poor great mages, all alone in their tall stone prison. Shut up, my voice echoes back as I stand in an empty room. Hot breaths rasp in my throat. Why was I running so hard? Why are we... Did we kill it? Then why are we still running? Why am I so tired? Why was I struggling? My legs tremble and I sink to my knees. Bro, me every single day. It's alright, everything is fine. Whatever it was, it doesn't matter now. Eyelids heavy. Comforting numbness envelops me. I close my eyes and crumble to the floor just for a moment. Everything's fine. Ugh. The sea in every direction endless, a diamond dusting of moonlight across the surface above me. I look down into the depth, a pressure against my chest as the darkness stirs. A star, then two, then a constellation glitters into life. They approach. The darkness was not the bottomless sea, but the body of an enormous fish. Its silhouette filling my entire view. A gaping mouth splits open from horizon to horizon, a deeper black within, approaching, buzzing. Yeah, okay. The progenitor, hag, Shrothral, comes for me. I should be afraid. Her mouth, now all-encompassing, blots out the last remainder of feeble illumination around me. I should be afraid. Why am I not? The mouth shuts with a distant clang, a flash of lighting across the eyelid sky. Ew, wakaha, wakaha, wakaha. Come on, wake up. Prickling light in the comforting darkness, a rumbling rises and falls in an anti-music rhythm. Calm coolness gives way to crushing heat. A blanket of boulder smothers me. Hey, you alright? Do you hear me? Ugh! My eyes struggle. Oh my god! It's so loud. Oh my god! Oh my god. Hold on, just... It's so loud. Alright, I'll leave it there, I guess. My eyes struggle. Someone grips my shoulder and squeezes, still a bit out of it, eh? A metallic and greasy buzzing sound crescendos in my mouth, tastes of iron. A hand is laid upon my forehead. I open my eyes again, it's easier this time, but the rest of my body is still heavy as stones. I can't budge a hair. Feverish, but no obvious wounds. You'll be fine, I dare say. Their brows furrow deeper. Stay still and listen to me carefully. Your spell had gone very, very wrong. It's going to kill us and I haven't got much time to fix it. After a pause, they pat my hand, as if an afterthought. Oh my god! What are you talking about? What spell? I work my stiff tongue. Don't worry about that. Just stay put, I'll deal with it. They turn and... Okay. Hey, wait, what's happening? A hoarseness burns my throat and I wheeze. I peer around trying to get a hold of my surroundings. I must be dizzy still. Everything's spinning. Why are the books flying? I squeeze my eyes shut. This is not happening. I'll wake up soon. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. It is really loud. Sound trickles in, rustling, clinking, a storm raging outside, a guttural buzzing. How can I sleep like this? Annoyed, I drag myself sluggishly to my feet. An urge to gag rises, rubbing my throbbing temples, tasting a foulness in my mouth. I force down the bile. What did I do last night? That incessant buzzing. I rub my eyes again to clear them and look for the source of the sound. As I catch the sight of it, a cold terror creeps up my spine. A pulsing, churning thing is suspended in the air like space is swallowing itself. Waves of moist... moist. Waves of moist. Waves of moist. Waves of moist. Brilliant heat spew from it. The transparency, the symmetry, the stench, the singing. Breath catching in my throat, I freeze. What in Lura's name is that? Shapes huddle beneath the grotesque thing in the air. As I step around to get a better look, they resolve into figures. Midnight silent and still as bones. The white-haired person who woke me earlier stands still. Another person... What? I don't see any people. Anyway, another person is curled up on the floor, their face a mask of anguish. The emblem of High Magus hangs around their neck. The image of an eel coils around their arm. Why do I know these symbols? White hair's hands are raised in a peculiar gesture towards the vortex looming overhead. Hey, I whimper. What are you doing? What is that thing? It looks like they are frozen in place. Hello? I ask again. No movement. I bump into something and look to see a couch. Beside it there's a table on which cups lay about like drunkards. Inkwell, quills, and crumpled papers are strewn across the table and the stones beneath. A few bottles are still dripping from the mouths. Dark red spots platter across the floor. A crash from somewhere else in the cavernous... I'm sorry, you guys. I can't read. Cavernous chamber pierces for silence, jolting me. I duck behind the couch, heart pounding fast. There comes a bang, sound of glass shattering, shouting. A cacophony reverberates painfully from the walls around me. I clutch my ears. Are there people fighting here? Please, let me wake up already. This is not funny anymore. As abruptly as they came, the sounds die down. Is it over? Clamping eyes shut, I try to block out the buzzing, praying, let this be over soon, let this be over soon, let this... How did you get there? I nearly jump at the voice. The white-haired person is back, slumped next to the couch, head lolled, a hand to their shoulder, breath shallow. What? I just saw you over there. I turn and see the same person still in the spot under the vortex and my mouth hangs open. What? Why are there two of you? I turn back to ask and see something dripping from them. The glistening fluid shimmers and vanishes after it hits the floor. Are you melting? Are you melting? I back away a step. I heard shouting. Is there someone else here? They try to speak but wince instead, eyes closed, throat bobbing, spitting out something black and then resting their head back. They flash a sly grin and whisper, yes, but now it wishes it never set foot. Violent coughing interrupts them, more fluid drips down and evaporates. I wrinkle my nose. I don't see. What in the depth is going on here? What does it look like, they say? I glance around the room with a scowl, taking care to avoid the floating thing. Like the end of the world? Another wince. They lift a finger and point. What about that? Do you recognize it? I realize they mean the vortex and avert my eyes. No, Devana, no, absolutely not. Should I? I can't resist a shudder. They grimace, sink me, not even that. Your handiwork. Excuse me, I scoff. You heard me. That thing's here because of you. The Abyss Dvara, a door to the last place you'd ever want to be, make no mistake. Their eyes widen with fear and their mouths curl in disgust. Curiosity rising, I push myself upright and study the scene again. Nope, I think I would remember doing something like that. The unmoving fingers catch my sight. You still didn't tell me why there are two of you, or who that other person is on the floor. They gesture at the prone figure, a bit slow on the uptake, aren't we? That's you, the one who caused all this, a great magus, Farseer savior of Daran Square, prodigy of the age, so on and so forth. They're looking directly at me now. Tell me, you remember at least your name? Oh, I get to choose my own name? Oh, I get to choose my own name. That's so cool. Oh, I can't fit it. Delhi. The words tickle at the inside of my head. Magus Dilly. They say weakly, not to slight a dire situation, but it is somewhat amusing to see yourself like this, no? Amused, try skeptical, even if I believe you that I'm this Dilly character, that still doesn't explain who's lying on the floor there. The stranger shakes their head and chuckles, then tilts their head limply towards an ornate mirror meandering through the air nearby. Easier if you go see yourself. I roll my eyes, step to the mirror, and pull off its velvet cover. Show me how I look. I would rather keep it vague. Ooh, I would rather keep it vague. What I see leaves me stunned. The figure in the mirror is the spitting image of the person on the floor. I turn to look with wide eyes, then back at the mirror again. Every last detail down to the small pieces of metal embedded in my skin, which I'm only now noticing. It's all identical. Ugh, doppelgangers. Then, just for a breath, the eel on my arm seems to wriggle, but I blink and still again. I feel lightheaded. This is not right. But how? How am I in two places at once? I turned to the figure next to me. Are we dead? Is this the afterlife? And why do you know things when I don't? How is this fair? And just who are you? They laughed soundlessly. This is too rich. You don't remember my name either? You're, Legolas. I have no idea. Another fit of coughing. Not even close. You must have hit your head quite severely. Worried, I run a hand over my scalp. There aren't any holes. I don't remember hitting it, but that's just how it would be if I did hit it, isn't it? My voice trails off. How shall I say this? Eyes closed and lips parted. Their voice is barely a whisper now. The name's ER, your partner. Don't know what you did, found you like this. They push out the words with effort. I lean closer to listen. A ritual must have gone astray and set loose the Abyss Devada. The Abyss Devada. Abyss Devada. Stripping away all memories. I did what I could, you'd be gone otherwise. They're silent for a long stretch. I nudge them. Are you still with me? They open their eyes again and struggle to lift a hand and point toward the other side of the room, but it flops to the floor. Sink me! They're getting so quiet I have to put my ear next to their mouths to hear them. Warm breath tickles me. Blood rushes into my ears. Your desk. Look in your journal. Find the spell. Circular gate. Black powder. Mantra. Only way to save. No time. Go. Quick. They slump to the floor. Holding my breath, I wait. Heartbeat like a hammer in my skull. Thump. Thump. The buzzing fills the would-be silence in between resonance of torment. I drive a thumb into my temple, crushing one pain with another, a futile effort. Hey, are you still alive? I reach a hand to their shoulder. My hand passes through them. I pull away in shock and watch open mouth as ER's body melts into sticky, transparent strands. A few breaths later, there's no more than a shimmering puddle. Tumbling back, I land on my butt and scream. This is really weird. I throw my hands over my mouth and clamp tight, hoping that I wasn't loud enough to draw attention, staring at the spot where ER had been. By the depth, I relax my hands and mutter once my heart slowed down to a less painful pace. Realizing that a few glowing strands still cling to my finger, I shake them off in panic. My skin crawls. Ugh. Dvarna! What do I do now? Find and cast a spell? Are they mad? I don't know what a spell is. And what happened to them? Are they dead now? Devas, what do I do? Oh, okay, get as far away from here as I can. Search the rest of the room for the desk and journal. Let's do that. Hard pumping, I spring to my feet. There's no desk nearby. Where could it be? Now that my head is clearing up, I can finally see more than a few paces in front of me. The place is a disaster. It looks like half a library's contents are caught by unseen currents churning around the vortex. Books, parchment, translucent globs, and cryptid skulls swim like fish through the air. Beyond this layer of mess, there are even bookshelves meandering in the periphery. I dodge under floating chairs, vases, paintings, a veritable maze. A lamp bumps into my leg, stretching it into shimmering, transparent strings. Before I can react, it snacks back into place, wobbling. I feel a red-hot needle slowly being pushed through my thigh. I cry out, dropping to my knees, but in a blink the feeling is gone, as if it never was. Noticing that my leg still works, I hurry out of the field of debris, not daring to come near anything. I catch a sight of an enormous desk at the far end of the room. Seeing no more obstacles, I ease my panic breath and walk over to it, fervently hoping that the journal will be there. What a disgrace, save for a heavy book squarely set in the center, aligned with the edges. Everything else, paper, scrolls, measuring tools, writing instruments, are all scattered about carelessly. I file a mental note to put in order when this is all finished. Observing the book, I notice the precisely spaced stitch marks along the spine, evenly placed rivets, meticulously inscribed Dilly in the leather. My jittery breath steadies, my head clears somewhat. This must be the journal. If I can find the spell, I can save myself. I flip open the journal. Hello there, you're my journal then. Will you help me make sense of all this? The paper is smooth and firm under my fingers. A thick aroma enters my nose, so familiar. I close my eyes and inhale deeply. Memories tickle the back of my head. When I open my eyes again, the arcane symbols seem to regard me even as I look at them, like seeing an old friend. Written words, soldiers of the intellect, regiments arraying on a planar battlefield, written in a decisive hand. Mine. Geometric diagrams, sigils, maps of heart and spirit, beyond words, ordered beauty. It must take days, perhaps weeks to draw each. But what is time to acts of chaos defiance? A row of strings hang from the bottom of the book, each with an ornamental coin tied at the end, bookmarks perhaps. By the depths, it's an encyclopedia. How will I ever find one spell in this? A scratching sound comes from somewhere to the left. I tense up for a moment. Is it debris, or... I wait. Another scratch, then another. Something sharp against wood. I swallow, heart pounding. Could it be whatever ER was dealing with? What do I do? The scratching keeps coming in 2s and 3s from the same distance now, I realize. If they wanted to harm me, I'd be harmed already. Now be brave and look. I carefully turn my head. There's an arched doorway nearby. Dense blackness lies in the hallway beyond it. I squint. An amber glint flashes. Another scratch. I crane my head forward. Is that a shape ever so slowly detaches itself from the darkness of the doorway. Its fur is so black that it looks like a moving shadow. Its features are sharp, merciless. Oh my god, this is creepy. I'm gonna turn it up a little bit. Okay. It features... I stumble back, hand fumbling behind me, searching the desk for a weapon. My fingers grip around something. I look to see a knife. A lidless eye on the base of the blade turns its gaze to me and whispers, "Thirsty, feed me." I yelp and toss the knife. It clacks and falls behind the desk. I turn to see the dark creature inching forward unsteadily, peering around the room, sniffing the air, pausing at every little second. It's distracted. I might have a chance. I tense up and ready myself. The creature winces and clutches its head, and I bolt for the circle of debris. Caught by surprise, it claws at my arm, misses, tears a shred of fabric away. I hear a strained hiss, then rapid footsteps on my heels. I don't dare slow down. Something sharp snatches at my robe. Tear it, but without enough catch to stop me. It's closing in. I can't run it. What do? I hear from right behind me. Stop! Did it just speak? Something large moves in the corner of my eye, and then I hear a crash. I turn to see my pursuer knocked to the ground by a bookshelf-turned projectile. Don't stop, come to me, ER's voice booms. I turn and see them moving their arm in an arc, and several thick vases from the drifting flock launch toward the creature. A head-on smash, myriad splinters fly out. I wince at the imagined pain. But when the pieces have settled, I spot the dark figure some distance back on all fours, mostly unharmed. How did... ER takes a few steps back, quick steps to my back, muttering something under their breath, then throws their open hand toward the enemy. It leaps back, bounding several meters at once, landing near the doorway. I wait for ER to press the attack, but they simply step out from behind me and glare at our attacker. What are you waiting for? Finish it! It seems ER doesn't hear me at all. They just stand there. I look toward the dark figure who's staring at me, with pain in its eyes. It opens its mouth to say something, but all that comes out is a sound somewhere between a gurgle and a hiss. It clutches at its head with both hands, eyes bulging and straining. ER chuckles and with the flick of a wrist launches a cabinet. The invader grimaces at me and vanishes into the dark doorway. The cabinet smashes into chunks, so loud that it hurts to hear. The room is quiet again, save for the rain and the pounding in my chest. What happened? I thought you died. You turned into... Still panic, I fumbled the words. ER's triumph stance falters and they hunch, clenching at their shoulder. Hold the tears, love. I was only nearly dead, but enough to draw out that creature. Okay. I cringe. Don't call me that. Draw out. You were using me as bait? You wound me. I thought we were being partners, and it worked, didn't it? Did you see the look on its face? I cross my arms and consider it for a breath, then sigh, I suppose. So who or what was that creature? That might have been a Lucasi, attracted to vulnerable humans, slippery as eels they are, but we outwitted this one. Skeptical, I cross my arms. Is that so? Quite. We won't have to worry about it for a while. Why didn't you finish it off when you had the chance? I peer around nervously, throat tight. And these Lucasi, are there more of them? ER swallows, seemingly uneasy, all of a sudden, eyes clamped shut and swaying. Are you alright? Say something. I reach out a hand in case they topple over. Just the one, they mutter. Oh, good, I think. Not sure what to do with my outstretched hand. I scratch my nose. Breaths returning to normal, they straighten up with some efforts, massaging their throat. ER finally shakes their head and says, not that this isn't delightful, but we should probably get to work, eh? Come now, they say, leading toward the back of the room. My head is bursting with questions now that the danger has passed, but when we get near the darkened doorway, my pulse quickens and I hesitate. With just a few gestures of the hand and some words I don't recognize, ER slams the door shut and blockades it with loose stones. Show off, I mutter, staring at ER. Then I notice them visibly hunch and wonder how much it's costing them to do these things. A thin, silvery thread drifts close to my face. I wave it away, thinking it's spider silk. It sticks to my hand, and I realize there are dozens of these threads growing out of ER's shoulder. Now that I'm paying attention, their form also seems to flicker, insubstantial. Their hand is so feverish it's comfortable on my skin. My own hands are flickering the same way. I draw a sharp breath. What is happening? Noticing my growing unease, they face me, waving a hand nonchalantly. Don't worry, it's normal for heart vessels under these conditions, or did you forget that too? Who said I was worried? I'm just curious. What is this heart vessel? And stop reminding me that I forgot things. They shrug. Of course you are. Their body is made from water's energy condensed, somewhat elementary really, as far as magic goes. Confused, I glance toward the statue-like figures, but ER seems to have read my thoughts. That's a profane vessel. You're anchored to this realm. You know your flesh, also quite, excuse me, elementary, right? So that's why there are two of me. One is physical, and the other is, who said I was worried? Sublime, ER finishes. You're catching on, they smirk, putting a thumb under my chin, eyes a-glitter with admiration. Exquisite, they tilt their head from side, examining me. Caught off guard, my cheeks warm up, I scowl. It took some skill crafting the body from my waters. If I may be so immodest, a shame it falls apart in the currents. Good thing I can remake it as fast. They click their tongue. I wish you knew what a feat it is, but alas. A real shame that I can't grasp the extent of your greatness, your modesty. I swat their hand away. A puff of hair fine strands detaches from them, drifting perilously close to my face. I flinch. They put their hands behind them, turning serious. So you understand why I would appreciate it if you didn't stray too far from your physical body. So as not to have your masterpiece fall apart, I gulp, humor fading. They nod and start walking away, leading me on. Precisely, it'd be a waste of my waters, not to mention very unpleasant for you. Queasiness comes over me and I feel itchy all over. I brush away the strands, rubbing my arms, pressing the illusory flesh, but the itch won't go away. I don't know if this will help, but if you don't remember what sunkens are, do you? They say after a few steps without turning around. Huh? Bottom dwellers of the sea, heartless, hollow, hungering things that just go on trying to feed for an aeon, but can never satisfy their cravings. Their voice drips with disdain. No, are they lurking here too? I step closer to ER. They shake their head. Not yet, but if you stray from your body or me for too long, then... They look down pensive. Memory, reason, even the essence of who you are may be lost, so... Promise me you'll come back right away if you experience anything strange. They pause, then add, don't make me worry. Eyes heavy and head numb, I rub my temples, muttering, stranger than all this? ER gives me a flat stare. Oh, you'll know when it happens. Will I, ask myself? How would I know what I've already forgotten? I look at ER, wondering just how much they know. Is that what happened to my memories? Why don't you look for a spell instead? Then is that what happened to my memories? Am I already becoming hollow? They look aside for a moment. They say it might be best not to overthink this. Overthink it. What if I never remember who I was? What's the point of living then? The pitch of my voice rises, but they're calm as ever. Memories are like vapor. They come and go. You can make new ones if you survive. The dead have no such luxury. Are you saying it is possible to recover them? I need an answer. The grip on my wrist tightens. Listen to me. If you don't find the spell, you die. Not even a magus comes back from that. But if you find it, there's still a chance. Do you understand? Head nom. I nod. Then it dawns on me, if it's dangerous to be far away, then why can we not just take the book and bring it to our real bodies? It is right there. I motion at the journal wildly. It will make the whole thing so much easier. That's the obvious thing to do. Yes, unfortunately, one of your precautions prevents it from leaving your desk. You see, things you worked on are of somewhat delicate nature, and you made sure that nobody takes off of it. Oh, hold on. I'll be right back, guys. Yo, what's up, guys? I'm so sorry. My dad called me. I shrug, that's the obvious thing to do, delicate nature, and yeah, okay. They clear their throat. Only you knew how to undo those safeguards, and since your recollection is limited at the moment, I'm afraid we must work with what we've got. I stare blankly at the floor, of course, why would I make things easy for myself? Another thing, the Lucasi is still around, no doubt biding its time. Don't let it approach, it lies, it charms. It'll try to trick you. If you see anyone else here, anyone at all, run back to me at once. I clench my head and sigh. What does it want anyway, to eat me? ER licks their lips. Yes, and can you blame it? They look at me up and down. I stare at them. You're serious? I don't want to get into the details at this moment. Suffice it to say, be watchful at all times. And for depth's sake, don't agree to any propositions. Lucasi are powerful to begin with, and nigh impossible to get rid of if you make a deal with them. I rub the bridge of my nose. Let me get this straight. I have to remember all these things to avoid being eaten, but I can lose memories at any time? Ah, there has to be another way. I grab Yar's arm. What if you stay with me the entire time? What if you never let me out of your sight? Yar shakes their head. As much as I'd like to, I must rest. That means no heart vessel for me and very limited awareness of this place. Oh, Lura, this is not happening. I pace in a panic, heart racing. Insight flashes. Don't you have a spell or something to help me remember? Something hard to forget? That's not a bad idea, Yar messages. Massages the back of their neck and gingerly looks around the room. Let me see. They take a few steps away. I pluck something from the air and return to me, gripping my hand and looking it all over. They fixate on a spot on my wrist and jab something into it. Ow, what? Wincing, I instinctively jerk away, but Yar's grip tightens, holding me still. Look at me and repeat this. Let the image and words burn into your heart. Sensual pleasures wane, but pain I make my anchor. Long as this pain endures, I too shall remain. Ugh, I grunt. Say it. The intense looks in Yar's eyes leaves no room for arguments. I try to steady my racing pulse, but they drive the sharp object deeper into me. It burns. I struggle more. They pull me closer and hiss into my ears. Say it! Gasping for breath, I push the words out through gritted teeth. Abruptly, Yar lets go, satisfied. I stumble back, pulling my arm free. A shot of metal drops onto the floor with a clink, leaving drops of red. Still catching my breath, I shout at Yar, how dare you! What? You asked for it. You could have warned me. Yar shrugs. I thought it'd be no trouble for a magus of your caliber. I fume silently. Still grinning, they move on. I'll leave you to the journal then. Remember, it's a ritual with a circular gate, some black powder, and a mantra. Can you manage that much? I guess, I say, not at all certain. They smile and reach a hand towards me. I look away. Don't touch me. Shh, no fun. They pull their hand back and smile, only wavering a little. Once you find the spell, bring me the instructions. I'll teach you how to proceed, and the Abyss Devourer will soon cease to be a problem. Simple. I can make out even more of the objects behind them now. Their form is thinning out by the breath. Hurry. With a mischievous grin, ER gives my wrist a squeeze. The pain of cut flares up again. You won't forget this, right? No, not likely, I reply with as steady as a voice as I can manage, refusing to meet their eyes. Their grip tightens for just a moment. I inhale sharply. Excellent. It might just save you, you'll see. As they finish speaking, they let go of me and begin to disintegrate. I take several steps back, staring as they disappear. Their smile is the last to go. I wonder if even that can be done on purpose. Finally alone. This is a lot to take in. I give in. It's the weight of exhaustion, slumped to the floor. I'm so tired. How can I possibly get out of this? What did I do to deserve this? Why is this happening to me? Pathetic. Why me? You're pathetic. Don't you get it? No one's coming. Only you can help yourself. You'll have to do it. Trust yourself. I clamp both ears shut and shake my head over and over. Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. Echoes dance in the great chamber. The voice in my head recedes, but not without leaving a last resort. Coward. I will show you who's the coward, I muttered, pulling myself to standing by the desk leg. I will show you, I tell myself. Remember, don't forget, don't let anyone approach. Find the smell. I repeat the words in my head over and over, trying to make them stick. Pages of the books flutter through the air still. Weird. I'm procrastinating, aren't I? Yes, yes, you are. Fine, I'll get to work. I regard the book, pondering what to do. Hello, journal. It's me, your master. It's still your master. I'm going to need a miracle. Please tell me what you have. Closing my eyes, desperately hoping, I pinch one of the bookmarks at random and open up the page it marks. It reads, Date, Mark, Cleansing. Held by visiting shamans of the Orient. A potent brew of mapacho leaf was drank by a circle of third-degree magi. myself included, resulting in distress, nausea, and pain in the chest. It reached a point where I wished to be dead rather to endure another moment of that pain. Then suddenly I found myself transported out of the profane realm and into a pentagonal chamber within the seas. A group of Devanara seemed to have been expecting me there. They instructed me to take a knife with a single eye on its handle and carve out a portion of my heart that was tainted black. I did as told, and was then ejected back into the profane plane, vomiting profusely until a piece of still pulsing flesh came out. The knife had also been magically manifested in my hand. I felt a most pleasant sensation of joy or relief in my chest, followed by a surge of waters. I was told to discard the piece of flesh, but chose to keep it for further study. How is it still pulsing? How long will it persist? What can be done with it? I must experiment. Interesting, but I don't have a clue what it's about. There's no mention of a gay black powder or mantra. It's at least 1,000 pages. Be flexible and look for something else judging by. Might take me a moon or two to simply read through it. I'll have to be smarter if I want to survive. Absentmindedly, I finger at the cut that's starting to itch scrutinizingly the rest of the desk. If I had conducted a ritual recently, there might be some evidence of that. Freshly jotted notes or hastily stored ingredients, perhaps. There must be something. Come on, Dilly. Think like yourself. It was me. Where would I look? Thick coral iron locks are set into each lower drawer. A furtive tug, then a firm pull. Both nest me nothing but a dull click. Me and my precautions. Undeterred, I decided to try every drawer. More of the same. Click, nothing. You're not beating me this easily. I keep going, thinking if I'm lucky, then one might be open. With a hiss, the bottom left drawer slides out. My eyes are set aglow, but a heap of crumbled and damp papers of every color, a tomb full of flowers. Head tilting, I scrutinize the collection and with parted lips. And just who are you? With a barely audible crinkle, a violet-colored paper spreads partially open, revealing rows of text. Letters, could it be? Head above with curiosity, I pick it up and unravel it fully and read. Different handwriting, intriguing. I wonder what else I can find out. I'm telling you, for the 100th time I know you're amazing. I mentioned how cute they were, but I never imagined this must have cost a torture. Mirror imagery practically. I was thinking about naming them for the 100th birthday, except they call me a little weird. IR and fuzz pants. I shake my head puzzled, more and more convinced that these were written to me. I grab another one. You really must rest and relax for a while. The study has become your prison. I don't wish it to become your tomb as well. I trust you didn't recruit me for that kind of undertaking. What? Was I some kind of weird recluse? I hope not. A deep rumble shakes my body. I look toward the abyss Devara. Its form is lost in dense debris circling it. The rumbling settles into a grating hum. It's hard to even think with this noise, but if it gets no worse, I might still get through a few more letters, perhaps piece together my past. And if it gets worse, sink it. I'll take the risk. Sink indeed. Aren't you forgetting something? Go away. Can a voice in your head smirk? I think mine just did. Reaching for another letter, I'm tense all over. A feeling gnaws at the inside of my head. I suddenly feel like a horse had kicked me in the gut, knocking the wind right out of me. Doubling over, knees buckled, I wheezed. You forgot, didn't you? A pain pulses in my wrist. Oh no, it's happening again. I have to go back. But the letters, no, I will not go empty-handed. Straining, I snatch a few more letters and turn to leave, but a squirming in my palm alerts me. I look and see empty hands. What? I swear I look down. Papers are dropping to the floor in slow motion. Looking at my hands, I see sticky, glowing strings hanging from my wrists where hands used to be. The odor of rotten eggs fills my nostrils. Biting heat creeps up my arms. ER looked like this before they disappeared. No, I plead, trying to gather up the streaks with my stumps, but more and more of me turning soft and melting like cheese in an oven. As I stare, my skin becomes increasingly translucent. I can see fluids pump through veins with each heartbeat. Horror, fascination, I'm frozen, unable to pull my eyes away. Parts of my skin bulge and tear open, spilling ooze that drift away into the unseen currents. The eel on my arm shudders, wriggles from you guys. If the developer's watching this on from the confines of my skin and swims away, my mouth hangs open. But a maddening itch creeps across my body and I let out a giggle. It itches everywhere, so itchy I can't stop giggling and shaking. My vision swims, lines and shapes melt. A sting on my wrist, ER's pain. It sets my heart racing. Wrist, I can still feel it. I can still move. There comes a distant voice. I try to turn towards it. Streaks of color spin around me. No room, no depth, no dimension. Even when I shut my eyes, the aftermage flashes behind closed lids. I was a ghost wandering through an eternal painscape. I imagine hearing ER's voice closer. Did I shout a reply, asking them to guide me? The itch between my ears is so loud. Did they hear me? Are they replying? Is that the eel swimming alongside me? I follow what I think is ER's voice. My feet are so numb that only rhythmic thuds tell me I'm stepping forward. My eyelids are heavy as boulders crushing together. I count my steps, one after another. No time, no distance, just the stepping. I don't know how long I can go on like this. Something firm and warm touches my shoulders. I don't know how much time passes until I struggle my eyes open. Blobs of shimmering color swirl and congeal into an impressionist gesture of a room. Hot, bright needles withdraw from my skull. Ecstatic coolness. I sigh, wincing at the agonizing relief, then finally drop the clutch tension and slump to the floor. Tears fall, but I don't care. ER grip eases me down. Welcome back, they say, as if I'd gone for a holiday. I can only wheeze. This, I swallow, this is a nightmare. Don't make me go back there. I press my cheek to the smooth stone cold floor. Cold is balance. Balance is good. You said it would be easy. I almost, death could have been worse than this. A palm touches my head. I twitch. It goes away. It comes back. Small motion, stroking. You lingered, didn't you? A shaking starts somewhere inside me, grows into a heaving, and then a soundless laughter. It all seems so ridiculous. Me looking for a recipe to close a portal, helping the stranger who drags me about, hurting me, telling me it will be easy and I can't linger. Straightforward, ha. Don't overthink it, they say. My belly is sore from the convulsion, but it won't stop. My world is a blur. Maybe it's better than that. Sink it all to the bottom. ER's awkward panting. ER's awkward panting resumes. You don't have to tell me, I know what it feels like. Another wave of vertigo smears across my face, and you'll get used to it like I did. Think of it as a lesson, if it helps. It doesn't, at least the room's spinning is slowing. Dreadful, isn't it? I can almost hear their smile. To find yourself in such a place, not remembering, not knowing, peril around every corner. I hear death is not unlike that. You go to the seas, but not as yourself. You go as a new thing, emptied of the past, like it never was. They look down with a stiff grin. Maybe it's not much worse than this. It almost sounds nice in a way. I lie on the cool stone, rolling their words on my tongue, emptied of the past, a new thing. You know what? It almost sounds nice in a way, I say after a while. Death, maybe it wouldn't be so bad. Say we stop struggling, let things take their course, then what? We get to leave all this behind and end up in the seas as something new? A fresh start. I turned onto my back, closing my eyes, letting my heart drift. Something simpler this time, like a pair of ghost fish. I would be something nice, a dolphin maybe. You would be an eel for what you did to my wrist, but I wouldn't mind. I'd let you tag along. We won't have so much trouble just swimming around, singing, playing, waving at land dwellers. I feel ER laying down next to me on the floor, the back of their hand touching mine. I don't flinch this time. Aside from the fact that dolphins aren't fish, that doesn't sound somewhat less cumbersome. But why do you get to be a dolphin and I an eel? Are you sure you lived such a good life? I roll my eyes internally. Oh, I don't know. I just have a feeling. Really? What kind of feeling? Hard to say. I feel alright. What does that mean? It means I must have a decent sort. I don't imagine someone who's lived in a terrible life would feel alright, memories or no. That's some funny logic. Wait, why are you asking me? Do you know what kind of person I was? Maybe. Do not maybe me. This is important. If we are going to jump into that thing, I would really like to know what to expect. Now it's jumping in? Why not? If it happens either way, I would not like to sit here and stare at it more than I would have to, would you? I suppose not. And you did not answer my question. How was I? ER turns to look at me and I them. Once our faces inches apart, their eyes piercing, searching. Fine, you were a decent sort. I grin, most of the time. Hey, I poke at their ribs. They are looking confused. I burst out laughing. Yara stares at me with mounting perplexity, but a dimple of humor, too. I can hardly believe they're the same person from before. Come to think of it, I can't believe I'm the same person from moments ago. Catching me staring at them, ER's smile stiffens. They sit up and look away. I cough, sitting up, too. Right, if this finding a spell and sealing off the abyss business goes belly up, we have a backup plan. What do you say? Backup plan. Alright, ER stands up, pats themselves, then clears their throat. So what did you find in the journal? Oh yes, let me see. There was this bizarre entry in the journal. I wasn't sure what I was reading, but I couldn't stop. I had to know. It was a ritual called Expulsora. Raising an eyebrow, I asked, I'm impressed. It was a record of sorts? That's right. I think it took part in the ritual. You weren't always as straight-laced as you'd like to think. So it is true that explains in somewhat. I sense a tension in my head. A puzzle coalesces, but it raises another question. It always does with you. Go ahead. I wrote down things like excruciating pain, being taken out of this realm, meeting some Davarna, and then vomiting out something that was pulsing. The hairs on my neck stand up as I say it. Stroking their chin, Yara says, "That's not a question. I mean, I must have seen some extraordinary things. Beautiful things, scary things, disgusting things, things I can't even guess at now. Are those memories all just lost now? If you're saddened by that, there's no need, my dear Dilly. Why not? It happens to every human being one day. All that they've known and cherished, loved and feared, craved and loathed, all will be lost, no exceptions. You simply arrived there before you died. A quirk in the flow, that is all." "That is all. Does that not make you afraid?" "I don't see why it should. Because it can mean that everything you've ever done doesn't really matter." "They don't, not to the great depth, just so much debris to feed the Lucasi." "How can you say that? Are you even human?" Taken aback, ER fixes me with a narrow gaze. I swallow, wondering if those were the best choice of words. But they recover with a shake of the head. "The old Dilly and I might have engaging exchanges on such a profound topic, but you at present..." What about me at present?" My cheeks swell and I cross my arms, waiting for them to finish so I can give them a sound tongue lashing. They shrug as if I had asked them about the weather. "You're not you anymore." Sadness hits me hard like a bucket of ice water dumped on the stove. I turn aside to rub my eyes and don't notice Yar walk to me until a hand is laid slightly on my shoulder. "There are good reasons I don't indulge in all your questions." Their tone is not patronizing for once. Not wanting to meet their eyes, I stare ahead and ask, "What might those be?" Yar is silent again, considering their answer. "Maybe..." The fire may be out, but cinders still smolder in my heart, and I can't resist a late retort. "And what if the way out of this meth is buried in my lost memories? Did you think of that? Perhaps. But to go down that route would be to stake our salvation on your reverting to your old self." They take their hand away. "What is it with you in comparing me to the old me? Am I truly that much worse now? Is that what you are driving at? "No," a hand raised to the forehead in frustration. ER speaks in a tone so low I struggle to hear it. "You keep looking behind you, wondering what was lost, but you miss what lies ahead, and by doing so you doom us both." Their voice drips with dismay. I can only swallow. But then they chuckle. "If you want to regain something, then let it be the old Dilly's prudence. Do what is necessary to find the spell free us both. Can you do that?" I let out a long sigh. "Alright, I can do that. Sorry if I got distracted." ER clears their throat. "You didn't encounter any mentions of the ritual we need?" "No, I had no time." I stroke the spot on my wrist. "There's probably a few dozen spells in that book." ER begins to pace back and forth, brows locked together, muttering, "Those are not uncommon ritualistic components. No, won't get through that way. Need more time. You can't afford to make mistakes, Dilly. You'll have to do better than this." "Did you find nothing else?" I don't know whether to be embarrassed, frustrated, or indignant. I tried to read more, but my body started falling apart. I almost didn't make it, remember? There was a letter. It was signed by an I. Was it from you? What was it about? It sounded like you were rather forcefully inviting me to lunch, probably to save you from starvation. I rolled my eyes. Really? Was I that inept? Not inept, dangerously absorbed. It wasn't a big deal. Why are you asking? No reason. Well, maybe I don't know. Happy to have found something about my past, not like you're gushing with information in that regard. Why wasn't I? Let's see. Oh, Abyss Devara, imminent annihilation. I was just curious. You know what? Never mind. I probably should go back to check the journal. Gives me a tight-lipped smile. I sigh. I'm sorry. What for? Getting carried away, I suppose. Curiosity got the best of me. Probably part of who I was, right? I will try to keep it in check. Relaxes visibly. There'll be time to be more curious later, don't you worry. Do I have your word on that, assuming we make it out of here? I start to turn toward the deck, keeping my eyes on ER still. They nod. There'll be time, they murmur. It is a promise, then. Don't push it, they grin. I grin back as I walk away. Alright, well, I think I'm just going to leave this one here. It's been pretty much an hour, so I'm just going to save in this empty slot. I'm liking it so far. Very narrative, very story-driven. I'm kind of liking the story so far, so we'll see what happens further. This is still Act 1, so I'm gonna try and finish Act 1 in the next video. I didn't know it was gonna be this long, but until next time, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to subscribe, ring the bell, give me a like. It helps me out a lot. I really appreciate it. I love all of you guys. This has been the remainder, Act 1, Part 1, I guess. I hope you guys are having a good day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Deuces!